Greetings, everyone. Anthony Gambale here with the next episode in our Dreams Business Cloud Go High Level, understanding how the system works. And today on this video, we're going to be going through the dashboard and some setup features. Okay, so here's your dashboard. We're going to jump right into it. This is the main dashboard. I'm going to go over the buttons on the left and what they all mean, and I'll go into a little bit of setup as well. Okay. So this is when you come in, here's your main dashboard. This is kind of like when you're driving your car, right? You've got your oil pressure, your speedometer, your tachometer, everything is kind of in your purview, like you're viewing. That's what this page here is supposed to do. Okay. Here on the opportunities, these are all the opportunities that we have within uh, Dreams Business Resources. All the opportunities are created in pipelines. As you can see, we have one for annuities, Bank Breezy, benefits, coaching, Dreams Resources, Cloud Search. There's IUL, there's health insurance in here. There's research and development, right? There's the old SETC in here, TrueMark. Everything is going to be in here. Your pipelines might look a little bit different because again, this is a demo account, so it may not have all the features in your pipelines. Okay. And then you're going to have opportunity. These are the opportunities in those pipelines. So you've got opportunity status and the opportunity view. And then the results will be here on your right, meaning what do I have in potential income or or revenue, and what was actually earned or closed, right? So this is going to be kind of think of it like your gas tank, okay? Then we're going to go down here, and it's going to show you what is going on with the people within the opportunities that you've created, where they are in the status, what kind of possibilities. These are all zeros again because it is a demo account. Here is where your tasks are going to be that you set up when you spoke to an individual and they said, call me on Monday or send me this or something that you need to do for a specific individual that you've created a contact for. That's going to show up here as well. And then you have your manual stuff over here. These are going to be your reports on here's an opportunity value. I'll show you that in the opportunities. There's 10,000 in there. The source, if they're open, if they're won, they're lost, if they're abandoned, again, everything is going to be here. You'll be able to see at your fingertips what's going on. Then you have your Google Analytics report. You can pull your Google stuff in here, Google Business Profile, Facebook, Google Ads. Why is it important to track all this? Okay. If you're working in a commission-oriented um, environment, right? You're not going to get paid on Friday automatically. You get paid by your efforts coming to a conclusion. You're going to want to know what your activities, what the value of your activities are. And over time, if you track it properly, you'll know exactly what your activities are going to generate you revenue-wise. Okay. And what I mean is, if you send out, let's just say, 1,000 emails, and out of those 1,000 emails, um, you generate over time, right? You're tracking all this within the system. You know that you're going to make, I don't know, let's say $800, right? From those from those emails. Same thing with text messages and reach out campaigns. You know, for every automation, every person you put into an automation that you've created, your eventual closing ratio is going to be an X amount of dollars, right? So then what you do is you divide that that gross number of activity by the earned dollars, right? So let's say you made $10,000 and you sent out 5,000 emails. So you take 10,000 divided by 5,000, and then you know that every email that you sent is worth that value. And now you can quantify your activity in the real world, right? So you'll know that that automation sequence that you sent left created X amount of dollars, okay? And then you could do the same thing for for recruiting, agency partners and agency activities there. If you're going to be doing recruiting outreach, same thing. I send out so many outreaches, right? And I get X amount of people on my team. You divide the gross number by the net number, right? And then you know that for every X amount of people that you put into that automation, you're going to gain X amount of team members, right? Or agency partners or whatever the case may be. Okay, so it's important to track your numbers. Next here is going to be, well, this is conversations. This is where the tennis match that I was talking about is going to be conducted. This is your tennis court, right? This is where the ball is going back and forth from the net. Okay, so let's go into. I don't have any conversations in here, but let me pull mine up here, and just to give you an idea of what conversations look like. Let me just go into mine here. I have two monitors. Okay, you definitely want to get more than one monitor, right? It's like trying to walk around, ride a bicycle with one wheel as opposed to two, right? They are invaluable, a second monitor. So let me go into my, sometimes when you're in two accounts on the uh, same browser, it can be a little problematic here. So let me just get in there. Okay, so here's my account here, one of my contacts. This also happens to be a client of mine in financial services. I've known her for a long period of time. Here's a tennis match going back and forth. This is SMS means text messages, okay? Emails show the little email emblem, as you can see here, the little email emblem, right? Star means that this is an important person, right? You can star people for a variety of different reasons. Warm conversations going that you do not want to forget. And how you star them is you just click it here. You just click the star or you unstar them by clicking them here. Here are those tags that I told you about, right? Owner, she's a client of mine. I put her in some automations. These are automations that she's in. She's also a dreams agent with us here as well. Okay. Now to your far right here is here's your contact details, activity, associations. Just click on that here. There's no associations here. This is an opportunity value. Remember I told you about opportunities? So for this individual, you can create an opportunity for them. Okay, and here's some opportunities that I created with her when I did the dream score for her and her business. Okay, this was automatically generated from that. But you could also create a new opportunity by hitting add, create a new opportunity, right? And then you go to the here's a person's name, you put all that's in here. Here's her here's her name again. What is the opportunity and what is the pipeline that you want to put that person into, right? So it's going to be let's go to the ones here, our research and development, right? Or a TrueMark pipeline, or whatever pipeline you created in your dashboard, you can put it in there, right? Uh, it's open because it's new, and then you're going to assign an approximation value to that just to that discussion. If it's multiple things, you're going to do one for each one, right? Um, owner, blah blah, click it in here, create, done, and then it'll go into the opportunities. Okay, here you have your tasks. Remember I showed you on the dashboard, tasks are going to be there. Notes, any notes that you can add, you just add a note, you title the note, you type in, whatever you need to type in here. Let me move this thing here. Just remember, this thing can be moved. It sometimes pops up in your way, hides buttons and whatnot. So you're going to save it, and then the note will be there. Okay. These will be all the appointments ever set or created with that individual and or any documents that you uploaded. Okay, so that is the conversations. Also, phone calls will be here, pretty much everything. You could also call from here. Okay. Let's say you I don't know, you live in an area where your cell phone may be choppy or whatever. Once you import your phone number in here, you can actually make a phone call from the system. In addition, it'll come from the phone number that you're SMSing. Just by clicking the button here, you can do it right from the Go High Level or the Dreams Business Cloud. Okay, let's go to calendars. This is where your calendars are. There's two places for calendars. One is where you're showing a calendar, and the other one is where you're creating. That's going to be in the settings. Okay. Of course, here's where your contacts are. Okay, here's your contacts. These are all my contacts. Actually, I'm gonna go into the other account here. Contacts. Okay, so here's our contacts. Going to Bill Smith. As you can see here, these are general information fields. Okay, you can add contact, you can add different fields in here, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. General information is mostly business, number of employees, additional information. So you can go through the actions here and see what kind of information you can fill in. And of course, the more activity and the more conversations, the more things you got going with an individual, these things will start to fill up. Okay, here's the opportunities that we talked about. Remember, we talked about opportunities. These are all the opportunities. I think I have one that in the R&D pipeline. I believe there's one there. Yeah, there's that $10,000 one that I showed you on the main dashboard. That's where it is. Okay, that's why I said it's important to put that opportunity value in there, because over time you'll have multiple people in here, and it'll total up all your opportunities, and you'll know what possibility of revenue you're creating within your Dreams Business Cloud or your Go High Level system over time, and you'll know by gross numbers, if I have $250,000 worth of opportunity value, and based on my closing ratio, I make 10 or 15 or 20% of that, okay? You know that you need to have at least that much. I need to make, I don't know, say $250,000 this year. I know I need to have 3 million or $2.5 million worth of opportunity value within the system, because eventually that's going to trickle down to a closed sale. Again, it's all about tracking and understanding your numbers, right? Because you're not getting paid on Friday. You work for yourself. It's important to know what your activity is going to generate. Okay. Uh, Here's payments and the payment gateway. So this is a Go High Level chassis. So you can create stores and online stuff, just like you see people, selling things online. You can do that within this Go High Level chassis. It's not just for Dreams stuff. You can do other things here as well, right? So it's pretty interesting. Marketing. So within the marketing, you have a bunch of different things here, right? We have our social media engagement. We have our emails. We have snippets, trigger links, countdown timers, all that stuff here. We're going to go into each one of these categories on a separate video in greater detail. I'm just giving you an overall view of what everything is and what everything means. So you can connect all your social media accounts here. You can create postings and you can blast them all out to all of them in one clip over the course of a week or a month, right? You can set them all up at one time for a sequence of days, and then just go to the engagement as people engage, right? Automation. So here is where the system is going to do emails, phone calls, voicemails, and text messages, right? Anything, think of it like your employee that you're not paying a salary or vacation for. It's going to do all your contacting. Of course, any correspondence, any tennis matches that begin will show up in conversations, right? If someone responds, it's going to show up in conversations. Okay. Here's where you can create your funnels, webinars, websites, or blogs, and also forms. Okay, surveys, chat wizards. You get it, right? So where you're going to probably mostly be dancing is funnels and websites are the two areas, right? So funnels are different than websites. Okay, they're different, and we'll talk about each of those a little bit later on. Remember, I told you you can sell stuff. You can also create memberships for other people for a variety of different things. You know, maybe you're a nonprofit, or maybe you're a Boy Scout or Girl Scouts or something like that, and you want to create a little account for your troop or your pack. You can do that here, right? Here's your reputation, so that's not here. At mobile, here's your Dreams Business Cloud training, your link vault. Okay, now let's go into settings. Okay, here is the your business profile settings. Okay, it's gonna be right up on the top. You're gonna put your logo in here. You're gonna put your business name. Okay, if you're an independent contractor and you don't have a business name, right? You're gonna put your name here, the name that's on your tax return. Okay, and then the name you want to go by, your email address, your phone number. By now, I'm hoping you went over to GoDaddy and you got yourself a domain name or some other servicing host, but GoDaddy kind of easily joins with Go High Level. It's relatively easy to connect those two things, those two accounts. You're gonna put the website address, that domain here, right? You're gonna put that here. You're going to choose a business niche, right? A country, business type, business industry. Let me pull mine up. This way you can kind of see what a finished one looks like. Just bear with me here. Okay, so we have you're going to check if you're a LLC or a sole proprietor, you're going to put that here. What industry? And I have an insurance registration type other, right? Business registration type. You can leave that blank. My business is not registered, meaning it's not an LLC, an S corp, or C corp, right? It's just a sole proprietor. USA, Canada. Click update. Right then on your right, you're going to put your address, phone number up here. That's your personal information. Check this box. Eventually, this box here needs to be checked by someone, a system administrator. You're going to check this box, or this box, this box, and this box needs to be checked, and then you're going to save that. Now, under the profile, the demo account doesn't have a profile, but again, you're going to put your profile image in here, your phone number, your calendar, whatever calendar you want to be your dominant calendar. We're going to go into calendar in the settings, so you can leave that blank right now. Create a signature line for outgoing emails. Okay, whatever you want to do here. This is what I did. I don't have it going out for replies, only when I send it out. If a tennis match is going back and forth, I don't want this on, on everything. Okay. Video conferencing. So now you can add your Google, your Gmail calendar, which I have synced in here. I do a lot of stuff on my Gmail calendar, so I wanted to automatically come into Go High Level and block out that time. Okay, I want to block out that time because yeah, all your calendars must talk to one root calendar. And this way they're all on the same page and no one's going to book an appointment on a slot that you're not available, right? Because you have one root calendar and I use Gmail as a root calendar. So that's my main Gmail account. All the appointments are in my time zone, your time zone. Okay. These are the hours that I have set where I'm available in my time zone, right? And then we go over here for where your password is. Here's your A2P verification. We talked about that, setting up A2P. Once you're ready, you're going to come here and click that button. Okay. So let me now go back to the other account. Okay. Billing. Obviously, this is where your billing is going to be. There's nothing here because, again, this is a demo account. So just make sure that that information is up to date. My staff. Here's you. Your name should be here. Opportunity pipelines, calendar. So here's where you're going to create a multitude of calendars. We're not going to do any of that now. I'm just going to show you where they are. Creating a new calendar. This is the one that I just created, a quick calendar. Email services. Okay, we'll create a video on doing that email integration from your GoDaddy account, right? And how to do that. Phone system. This is where you start the process of the A2P. Okay, this is a demo account, so let me see if it'll show anything. Probably not, but there'll be a button here that says get a phone number. Let me see if I can if it'll show on my. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like, right? Add a number. You're going to just click on this this blue button here. You're going to add a number. I'm just going to show you what it is. And you want to add a local number, right? So find one that is in your time zone. You can hit filter, start by whatever digits. Let's say you're uh you're in New York City, 212, you hit apply. Let's see if it'll pull anything up just to give you an idea how it works. Nothing in there. Let's see here. Apply. 877s. Probably have other. So, but you get the gist. You can just go in here and get one that's in the area code that you want. If we go back into the other account here, uh, here's WhatsApp. If you have WhatsApp, you can connect that here. Now let's go into custom fields. So a custom field is the query, name, address, phone number, uh, the question that you're asking that individual. That's the custom field, right? The custom value is going to be the answer to that question. Okay. Let's see if I can go into a folder. So here we go. Contact. First name, last name, email, phone number, date of birth, contact. So you get the gist, right? I think there's only 12 in here, right? Yeah, there's only one page. So these are, so what I'm saying is you can add a custom field into the contact record, right? You can add that in here. What would you want to add in here? Well, if you're also working in financial services as well as Dreams Business Resources, you might want to know the spouse's name, right? The spouse's date of birth, spouse's phone number, spouse's email. You could just go here, create a new field, single line, follow the bouncing ball, and add that into there, and then it'll be there. It'll be in your account. Okay, so that's custom field. Custom values is the answer to the field, right? So let's say you have your email address. the individual's email address, individual's phone number, right? Um, and then you could just put this in here, right? Add it to your clipboard, put it on a website, and that value will always represent whatever it is. So you hit a custom value, you hit the name, and then you put the value, and you put it in whatever folder it's going to be in. Right? If it's a contact information, you're going to put it in the contact information. Uh, if it's your information, you're going to put it in agent information. Okay. So let's go down to manage scoring, domains and redirects. Okay. So here's where you're going to pull in um, your your domain. Go to GoDaddy. It's more economical. Okay. You connect. You click connect. Type in just from your GoDaddy dashboard. Just copy it, paste it in here. Hit continue, and then it will pull it in, and then you'll have a domain that's here, and you could create websites, funnels, all kinds of stuff from that domain, and you could host it here, right? So the hosting will not be in GoDaddy. That's just where the DNS records are, which is right the root of it all. But all activity and action will be here. Okay. This is external tracking. You don't need to worry about that. Integrations. Okay. So what do you want to integrate? This is where you're going to pull your calendar in. I think they have here Google Contacts. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. Here's private integrations. Labs are where they're creating new features that are going to go active or live in however many days. Okay, that's what labs are. So that's pretty much the dashboard here. In the next video, we'll get a little bit more into detail of connecting your email and starting to get your A2P stuff together. So that feature is done, and get you to the point where the system is getting more and more functional and operational. Okay, so that's it for this video. Again, in the description box below will be links to anything that I think is important. If you have not yet purchased a Dreams Business Cloud account for yourself, there's a link below there. If you are an individual who just kind of tripped across this video here, trying to learn about Go High Level, you could click on the Dreams agent information page, and that'll take you to a page to learn a little bit about what we do here, and perhaps it'd be something that you'd be interested in, or you could click below and contact me if you'd like to talk a little bit further about how we can help you and your business thrive and get you to the next level. With that, we'll see you in the next video, and have a great day.